Welcome back, guys. And
We were hyped. I mean, the amount of let's goes that were sent back and forth is crazy.
I think this trade kind of shocked us a little. It kind of shocked me.
super exciting.
That's kind of hard to believe.
Let's get hyped and let's get into the video.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. Lots happened in the last week. We have a bunch to cover, starting with the first start of the Mariners' top prospect, Kade Anderson. And I'd say he looked pretty good. What did you see out there?
Yeah, I would agree. The number one pitching prospect in baseball finally got called up. I was a little surprised, but I was happy that it happened. He looked good in his start. I mean, other than that last inning, he was great. He gave up those 2 home runs to finish his outing. But before that, yeah, he was solid. He was dealing, honestly.
Through his first 5 innings of work, he had only given up, what was it? I think 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, was looking good, was good on his pitch count. I think he was just at like 70, 78 or something like that going through 5. And then mysteriously, Dan decided to throw him back out there for a 6th when all year he's been pitching maybe 5, maybe 6 in a really solid outing, especially against a good team like the Cubs.
Yeah, an 80 pitch count, right? So
Yeah.
I was thinking he would be done after the 5th, and then Dan
had other ideas.
Since he was almost right at 80, maybe he thought, hey, he can get out of this inning with not too many pitches, and then he can go 6, trying to save the bullpen a little bit, maybe. But that's when he kind of fell apart a little bit, gave up back-to-back home runs, and then they ultimately pulled him. But
Yeah.
so that inflated his numbers a little bit. But I think right before that, yeah, he was good. I was impressed. Solid outing, much better than, I wouldn't say it was anything like crazy, but
No.
he was solid and much better than some other guys as of late in our rotation.
Yes. Well, I mean, just think about it. He's 22 years old, coming out, pitching his first major league game less than a year after being drafted, or just over a year after being drafted. He did solid against one of the best offenses in baseball. His breaking stuff was working really well. I thought his fastball location could have been a little bit better. He looked to be like trying to overthrow that a little bit, was reaching the top end of the strike zone a few times. But his breaking stuff was just nasty. He had the Cubs hitters, wondering. I don't think he threw a same pitch in any at bat really. Like he was switching it up really well. But yeah, so overall, very positive start to his career. We anticipate that he will be one of the 5 in the rotation moving forward, and hopefully that's true because Kade Anderson looks like he's on his game right now. So his next start should be here soon against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. Hopefully he can continue what he was doing and build off it. But that brings us to the same, I wouldn't say issue, but the same dilemma that we had earlier in the season. We're now at 6 starters. I don't know if you saw, but last night Brian Wu took the mound. Another rough outing by Brian Wu, unfortunately. I just keep waiting for him to bounce back, and he just doesn't look like his old, like he's back to his old form. But Bryce Miller was available out of the bullpen, it sounded like. He was out there in the bullpen yesterday during the game, and then they said he was available as like an emergency arm if they wanted to save the bullpen. He didn't end up pitching, but that to me looks like maybe we're going to see him out in the bullpen more, which probably is needed because he's been our worst starter as of recent.
His last 8 starts, he has like almost a 6 ERA.
Yeah, he's
Like,
just getting taxed every
unacceptable.
outing. It is unacceptable, which is really unfortunate because he has so much potential, and what we've seen from him in the past, he just cannot get back to that. And with Wu struggling too, he had a great outing, a couple games, his last outing, but amazing outing actually. But before that, he's had some ups and downs. So it looks like they may be sending Miller to the bullpen, or we'll see kind of what do you think they're going to do with the 6-man rotation or the 6 starters that we have.
You can't bring back the piggyback. If you bring back the piggyback, you lose half the fan base again. So I'd say Miller to the bullpen makes logical sense. I mean, it sucks. He was a really solid starter to begin the year and then just really fell off. And there's now rumors that there's maybe a lingering back injury coming from about a month ago. So I don't know what's up with the Mariners training staff and how they're not getting these guys to be honest with them. But this is the second guy that we've had who was lying about an injury, and his performance was very telling. Talking also about Kade Anderson there. But Yeah, so
Yeah.
Bryce Miller to the bullpen makes sense to me. I mean, we're in a playoff run. We need the best starts we can get, and we can't afford to, keep giving these starts to guys who just aren't going to produce. And I would argue even like Brian Wu should be in that conversation. Like if Bryce Miller and Brian Wu like trade off starts, okay, so be it. There really haven't been like Wu's had higher upside as of late, right? He's had that solid
Yeah.
start in between the rough starts. But Bryce Miller has just been rough for, like I said, almost a month and a half now. So
Agreed. I don't know what is up with guys not being honest about injuries. And it's not, I guess they're trying to push through and play through it, which, okay, but they've also been playing terrible when they do that. So what's the
mhm.
point?
What's
Um,
the point?
Cole Emerson had to undergo wrist surgery and he's done for the year. And he
Hmm.
was, he was playing so bad that they sent him down. And then he was like, oh, actually, I'm injured, guys. So crazy.
Not
I
a
don't
good look for
know
your
what's up
21-year-old
with Miller.
prospect.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Miller might be maybe he just goes to the IL too if it is
Mhm.
true that he has a lingering injury. Maybe that's for the best. But because Vargas has looked great since coming back for the bullpen, so that's a
He's been
positive
very
there.
important to get back. I mean,
Hmm.
he's throw. Yesterday he threw what 2 innings of work. Yesterday, which was
Yeah,
really important to see. I mean, we just needed someone who's a workhorse in the bullpen who is not horrible. Like
hundred
we need
percent.
an ERA in the threes, low fours, not in the fives, sixes, and sevens. So,
Yeah,
really important to
he's
get Vargas back. Um,
yeah.
really quick note before we move on to like the other injuries. Um, so Kade Anderson moved up from Double A, right? And had a solid first start, and he anticipates to be one of our guys moving forward. Ryan Salone had his best performance in Double A the day of Kade Anderson's start with the Mariners, right?
He said,
He
"Where's my
had
phone?
five
Let me show you
innings,
what I can do."
11 strikeouts. So if for whatever reason, we see Bryce Miller hit the IL and Brian Wu continues to struggle, do the Mariners explore that option? I don't think it's out of the
Maybe.
equation. I genuinely don't, because
Yeah.
we cannot afford to be having starting pitchers going out there going 4 or 5 innings, giving up 5 or 6 runs. It's just we are too good of a pitching staff to be giving that up, and we have too many options
Agreed.
available.
Hey,
So
rosters expand in a week, so
yeah, who knows what's
it's a
gonna
real
happen?
possibility.
Yeah, I don't see
Um,
them carrying like 7 starters on their roster. I really don't. I think it's more realistic to
no.
see some like maybe Michael Arroyo, Lazaro Montez. But I think that's more realistic. But still very interesting to keep an eye on. Ryan Salone is definitely at the doorstep right now. Other injuries so far on the team: Brendan Donovan to the IL for the third time this season. Dude is made of glass. This time he hits the IL
Can't catch
for
a
concussion
break.
protocol. Tell us a little bit about what happened there.
It's just really frustrating to me. Like he was playing great when he came back. Everyone was excited to have him, and of course he hits the aisle again. Apparently, I heard it. What I heard was that he was in the cage, and whoever was throwing BP, there he was throwing live BP, and pitch got away from him, and he beamed Donovan in the head. And Donovan wasn't wearing a helmet or anything, so he just took it to the dome, which is crazy. Justin Hollander was like, oh, it was a freak accident, anything can happen. I'm like, why is your one of your star players, who's arguably like our hottest hitter right now, getting beamed in the head during BP in a batting cage? Ridiculous. Yeah, when they take BP on the field, like they're not wearing helmets and they're taking live BP. So I, I don't know what happened there, but
Yeah,
ridiculous in my
and
opinion.
saying it's a freak accident is just a band-aid over the bigger
Yeah,
issue there. So
I don't know.
he was placed on the IL on the 23rd. So we can anticipate he'll be back for the hopefully the Red Sox series, but it
Don't
sounds like
worry,
he
he'll
won't be available
something
for
would
the Blue
happen
Jays
again. He'll
series at
get
all.
injured. So
I hope not. We need that guy back so much, man. This lineup looks so much different when you have Brendan Donovan at the top of it.
yeah, right, 100%. Yeah,
Um,
he was tearing
some
it up.
other some other really cool things that happened this week. Cal Raleigh finds his swing. Has 4 consecutive home runs, 3 in 1 game, one the following at bat in the next game. Yeah, Cal Raleigh, he's definitely been picking it up. I saw his average take like it jumped like 10 points in those 2 games, so that's really good to see.
Yeah.
He's starting to walk more. He's looking more comfortable at the plate. Because the thing is, if Cal is hitting home runs, they're not going to be pitching to him, which gets him on base more, right?
Hmm.
So the recipe seems to be it seems to be stewing. This is a long cooking process, but Cal's finally starting to figure it out at the plate. Um,
Yep.
some really good things these last few games, last few series. Um, we need him this down the stretch. I mean, if you don't have Cal down the stretch, you're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. He looks like he's turning it on for the last month or so of the season, which I hope it stays. He almost became the first player in MLB history to have 5 consecutive home runs. He
Mhm.
struck out on the fifth one, but
Dang it, Cal.
on the fifth AB. But yeah, it's great to see. That 3 run, that 3 homer game was awesome. It definitely got me hyped. It
Yeah.
re Those last 2 series that we had, we won both series. Offense has been playing a lot better. We're finding our power. It's definitely relit my hope for the season and kind of giving me life that, hey, we're 2.5 games back right now. If these guys continue to push, there's a real chance that we could, take the division and make the playoffs. So, but we
Well,
got to
the
continue.
the schedule in August was pretty daunting, right? You go Yankees, Astros, Brewers, Cubs, and Phillies. And I don't think you could have done much better than we did, right? You lose the series against the Yankees, you lose the series against the Brewers, but you take series against Astros, Cubs, and Phillies. That's
Yeah,
pretty important there. Not only did, like you said, the offense catch a spark, we've been scoring a lot more. Like, let's see, there's 5, 4, 6, 5, 9, 4. So, like, the offense is starting to come around, right? But work is not
yeah,
done yet. Mariners have one of the easiest schedules moving into September. Of their 22 games in September, 17 are against the Angels, Athletics, or Rockies. The only other two series that you have there is you have a 2-game series against the Astros and a 3-game series against the Rangers. I mean, the Mariners have a chance here to go on a stretch that could really propel them in this playoff race, get them maybe the division if they have good series against the Astros and the Rangers. But what is it going to take to do that? It's going to take this team being healthy. It's going to take determination. And it's going to take them wanting to make the playoffs, not just playing baseball to play baseball because they have to per their contract. This is going to be the time where they need to
yeah.
go on the run of a life. I'm not talking a 14-game win streak. Let's go for a 20-game win streak. Why not?
Boy, don't jinx us against the Rockies and the Angels and the
For
Athletics. You
real.
know the Mariners. They play. We've been playing. We played up to our competition. Mind you, these past few series. Mind you, the Phillies were
Mm,
coming in on a 9-game win streak into
mm.
our series. I was like, oh boy, here we go. And we played great. We won the series.
And then
But
through
the
the third game
Mariners,
with the worst lineup of the
yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah, that was rough. Dom Canzone the game before, bases loaded against a lefty on lefty. He comes through with a 2 RBI single. What happens the next game? A lefty starting, he's on the bench. Are you
Yep.
kidding me? Anyway, well, let's really hope the Mariners they play up to their competition and they play down to their opponents. So
Yeah.
let's hope, like you said, let's hope they can, keep pushing. Um, and yeah, it's really going to take all these guys coming together to make this happen. I think our best shot is going to be the division. To be honest, when you look at
Hmm.
the wild card, we're 4 games back, I believe, as of today in the wild card. Only 2.5 in the division. That wild card race, there is so many teams in such a
Hmm.
tight spot that it arguably will be tougher to make the wild card than it would be just to win our division because, and we have a series against the Rangers, so I
Yeah,
think
the
this will
series
be our
against the
best chance there.
Rangers from September 8th through the 10th is going to be really important. Not only is
Hmm.
it home, which is I think a good thing, but it's also Andres Munoz Pop collection night. So they got to win for Mooney, you
Dude,
know.
gotta win. Mooney's got to pop off for his pop. Come on.
Start Mooney one of those games. No, just kidding. But yeah, so like
Yeah,
the Mariners
why not?
truly are in control of their own destiny. The teams like Astros and the Rangers, they have more challenging schedules in September. The Mariners kind of got the benefit of this season. We had a lot of difficult games early on. August obviously was filled with some heavy hitters, but in September, like I said, Angels, Athletics, and Rockies account for 17 of your games.
Hmm.
If you let's say worst case go 10 for 7 in those games, you still need to be playing above 500 against all your other opponents, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, Astros, and Rangers.
Yep.
So of those 17 games, I realistically you need to win 14. If you can win more, awesome. Like that really helps you in this race. But The Mariners are looking to maybe hit 500 or get a few games above to be in a good position to win the division. So those games are really going to matter down the stretch. They need to put together the best lineups that they can. We need to get Brendan Donovan back, have him in the starting lineup again, and we need to make a strong run because this season has been such a big disappointment that this is our chance to finally propel ourselves. Like I said,
Yeah.
get to the top of the division, win against these teams who are already have more than 70, almost 80 losses this season, right? These are teams that have been out of the playoff race since month 2. So let's go out there and win some games.
Yeah, agreed. I'm going to say it again. I've said this for the past like months on this podcast. The Mariners, like you said, how bad we've been playing and how much of a disappointment this season has been overall. We are still in the race for the division.
6 games
which is
under.
Crazy. And if it's not this year, when will it be? Because the division is begging us to take it, and it's just been disappointing. But we still have a chance. So, and also it's really good to have J.P. Crawford back now on the in the lineup from injury. He's been playing third now that Donovan's on the IL, so at least there's that. But I think once with Cole Emerson being out too now, JP will go back to short once, or if Donovan ever comes back, then JP is able to move over to short. Donovan will resume at third. So
he's definitely an upgrade over having Leo Rivas on the roster. I mean, Leo Rivas has had his moments. He had the walk-off hit. And Brock Rodden's really held his own. He's struggled as of late, but started off strong and has shown that he can be a major league player. But getting JP just really lengthens out that lineup. Just having him as an option near the bottom of the order, as well as just his presence, his veteran presence. I think it's really important that he's back. So good to have him back, and hopefully we can follow suit with, like we said, Donovan soon. Well, I think that'll do it for this week's episode of Talking Tridents, a Mariners podcast. Let us know what you think the Mariners will do, in September, if Gino is a good option for them to pick up, and will Donovan ever play again? We'll see here soon.
That's the main question.
That's the biggest question there. So go ahead and leave a like, comment below, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
See ya.